Hello there, World of Tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the Tier 10 British Tech Tree Heavy Tank, the FV215B, a vehicle that I actually recorded a video on this morning, and I was planning on posting it tonight. Unironically, after recording the video and getting my 2 battles of gameplay recorded, it turns out that I played a much better game platooning with Flossie later, which was maybe about 2 hours ago. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to redo the video, and I'm going to showcase the game that I was able to play. Now, the FV215B is a really troubled tank. The gun on the FV215B is really the only thing keeping the vehicle afloat. It's an absolutely amazing gun. Taking a look at the statistics, you'll see it has over 3,000 damage per minute, and by the way, I'm running calibrated shells, so this thing's got a lot of punch to pack. It's also got .272 dispersion if you're running calibrated and refined, which I am, and its aiming time is still less than 3 seconds, which is insanely good. When you take a look at the average damage, it's 400, which is not the highest, but because you got a nice rate of fire, it means that you're constantly peppering your opponents. When you add that into the fact that this vehicle has 187 millimeters of heshpen and 515 damage per shot, yeah, I mean, the gun is insane. It is by far one of the best guns in Tier 10. But the mobility, I mean, the tank only goes 34 and 12 in reverse, and even though you do feature super speed boost, it's still really not enough to make this tank feel anywhere mobile. I don't know why the tank doesn't go 40 and 15 in reverse. I think if it just had those values there, it would be a much better tank. Remove super speed boost and just allow it to go 40. I mean, that would make it so much better. But the other thing, which is definitely the biggest kink in the entire tank, is the armor. The whole point of a heavy tank is to bounce shells. Unfortunately, when it comes to the FV215B, the hull armor on this vehicle is about as effective as the Object 260's armor. The difference is that the Object 260 is incredibly fast at 50 kilometers per hour. This tank goes 34, and it's got the armor of a pile of turds. I mean, you can penetrate the tank at this level of a side scrape, penetrate it in the track wheel, damage it, and break the track. And if you're a player like myself, which is running double consumable, that means you're only getting 1 repair kit, which means half the time you don't even want to repair your tracks. That means this tank is absolutely devastated by autoloaders like the new 50B, 4005, or TVP 5051, and the fact they can just absolutely dump their shells. Either way, I think the FV215B is a pretty unique vehicle and a pretty fun tank. I definitely would not say it's my favorite vehicle out there, but I also won't say it's my least favorite Tier 10. As I said, I personally believe it just needs to go a bit faster. It wouldn't make the tank any better. It would just make it a lot more enjoyable to actually drive and get in and out of position. So yeah, that's kind of what I'd like to see done to the vehicle. Now, in this battle, if we take a look at the enemy lineup, we can see an AMX-50B, an E100, and a Clan Vong when it comes to heavy tanks. When it comes to mobility, they have one, a Batchat. That's it. I guess you could count the Object 260 in there, but they don't really have much in terms of mediums, which is good for me, because I don't need to worry about being flanked. And they got a lot of tank destroyers, but I can penetrate all those tank destroyers quite easily. So for now, I'm just going to make my way directly over to Base C. Now you'll notice the penetration on the FV215B, especially if you're running Cali, is plenty to cut through even some of the most armored turrets like the E100. So already we've been able to slap 721 hit points off of that E100. I absolutely love APCR shells and the fact that you could just slam them into your opponents, especially without having to worry about heat shell velocity or anything like that. It's pretty dang nice. So right now, we're just waiting. There's the 100 again, poking. I'm just going to shoot an APCR. I know I don't need to, but it doesn't really hurt. I'm only going to lose like 40 damage a shot as it is. Now we got the enemy AMX-50B, who I know has dumped my clip because my teammate Flobby told me. So because of that, I'm going to get 1 shell into the 50B as a hesh, 2 shells into the AMX-50B as a hesh, and at this point, he's down to 250 health, so I could kill him with an AP. However, seems like I don't need to, as my teammate does it for me. We get a nice slap into that Kron for a decent 384, and now we're going to aim it again. Unfortunately, we're not able to get a crazy amount of damage into into that Kron because the E5 lights him on fire. But you know what? I'll take it. We're already up to 2,600 damage. Now we're side scraping against the E100. Another nice slap into his vehicle. Yeah, this is going pretty well, to be honest. Now, you'll notice just how steep I'm angling against this U100 to make sure that he does not have the opportunity to pen me. Now we've got the enemy 4005 off to the side, who's full clipping my 183, but that's nothing I gotta worry about, because he's all out of shells, and that's a pretty easy dump into his vehicle, dealing 3,800 damage. Now we got the 183, get a nice 515 slap into his vehicle, and you might think at this point that our team's doing great. However, they're actually doing quite bad. We're going to try and get one shell into the E100. There you go. Easy slap into his vehicle, and a 500 max roll. With that, we're just up to about 5,000 damage. And at this point, I'm like, okay, my team's going to deal with that E100. I need to start turning around, helping out my Yag with the 4005. And as well, I don't know where the Batchat or the 263 is, as I have not seen them at all from my point of view. The 4005 just backs around the corner, and oh boy, there's the Batchat. Well, let's get in a Hess shell into the 4005. Unfortunately, it does not really roll anything amazing. It's always nice to check just to see if it will roll nice, but there's the 263. I know he doesn't really have gun depression to shoot me in the hull, but I still don't want to take my chances, especially because you can see just how dang strong the 263 armor is. It is a very, very underrated tank. So for now, I'm just going to chill. I got a lot of damage on my table. There's no point to throw away the damage I've dealt. So we get a nice slap into the enemy 263, and the Batchat's able to finish off my Yag. Now it's just me, a Leopard, and as well the E5. But the problem is base cap. If you look at base cap, it's a problem. Yesterday, base cap was a problem as well. Honestly, I think I'm going to start turning off Supremacy again. I like Supremacy, and it gives me a lot of easy wins sometimes, where I might not have won before, but because of base cap, I was able to clutch a game or two. But I gotta be honest, since I've put on Supremacy, I've had a lot less high damage battles, and it makes sense, because you don't have the time in the game usually to get the games out. But there you go. Easy slap into the Bashation, and with that, I'm toe-to-toe with the Object 263. Now, even though the Object 263 has more damage per minute than me, there are two problems in his tank. First of all, he deals 460 damage per shot. I only deal 400, which means I have a much faster reload. Not only that, but I just get the shell off because of the fact that I've got my adrenaline on. So there you go, 7,800 damage dealt. That is pretty insane. In fact, if the E5 did not get that fire on the Kron earlier in this battle, I would have been able to deal over 8,000 damage, which is absolutely insane when you think about it. Obviously, we pulled out a mastery, and throughout that entire battle, we blocked 310 damage. An absolutely insane way to showcase just how bad the armor is on the FE215B. But what an absolutely fantastic battle, dealing more damage than every single one of our teammates added up. So just a great example of where the FE215B can take hold of a situation given to it, absolutely farm due to the DPM, the Hesh, and the accuracy it carries, and come out with a pretty astonishing victory. Now we're going to make our way into the second battle. I'll be honest, this game wasn't all too crazy. This is just the game I played live during my recording. And in fact, you know what? We're going to pull up that live battle right now. Let's see. What do they have that could go haul down? They have an E3. They have a Yo. That's not all too much. I'm going to go mid, honestly. I like going mid. I feel like it's a very, very solid spot. I'd love to get around this Type 71 when using my super speed boost, but unfortunately, he's taking up the entire road. All right, well, let's just try and get around him now. Speed! There you are. But as you can see, mobility-wise, the tank's, again, not very fast. It's okay, but it's definitely not a tank that's going to be winning any awards when it comes to mobility. So we got the Leopard off to the side over here, and maybe we can get a shell into the Leopard. I'm not really too sure. We also got the E50 off to the side. Come on, Leopard. What are we going to do here? Well, we got a decent chunk of opponents. Let's aim it on the 2 and 5B. There you go. Easy shell. I did load premium for that, but it was quite expected to load premium. Bro, what is our Batchat doing? He's just literally killing himself. All right, well, we cannot penetrate that. We can get a shell into the side of the E50M, though. Ooh, I'll take that. Wow. Well, our Batchat killed himself already. That's actually quite impressive. It's very rare to get a teammate that just flat out kills themselves, but yeah, we just had that happen there. All right, well, let's reload and see if we can get any more damage out. We got the 2 and 5B off to the side, and we're getting shot by the E3. The only tank that went to this side of the map, of course, has to be the E3, which kind of sucks for me. But I'm just going to chill here for now. There's not much else I can really do. There's the yo. Oh, come on. Really? That was an absolute rip-off. I got completely ripped off there. All right, well, let's try this again. There you go. That's a lot better. 488 slap into the yo that time, which definitely hit him a lot harder. At this point, not the easiest battle, I'm going to be honest. There's a lot going on. We got an FE2 and 5B off to the side, which I have to be very careful about, just because that guy can probably pretty quickly deal with me. But he's not looking at me right now, which means... Come on. Ah, it's such a hard pen on the FE2 and 5B turret. People don't realize how hard it is to pen that turret, but it is incredibly hard. Aw, no, cringe. We should be winning this, though. This looks like a pretty easy battle. Even though not everything's going incredibly good at this point, we're going to get a nice premium pen into the enemy M6 Yo. With that, we still have a pretty decent arsenal of vehicles behind me as well. Got the enemy IS-8 over here. Let's get a nice slap into him. There you are. I mean, we're getting out damage. We're doing our job, so I can't complain. Let's see. We got the IS-8 side again. I'm not going to shoot Hessian to the side of the IS-8 because it is spaced, so I'm just going to be shooting him with AP shells, at this moment at least. We got the Yo off to the side as well, and... No! Oh, come on. We got ripped off. Alright, well, I guess it doesn't matter all too much, because, he's dead, but that was such a sad moment there. All right, let's put on my super speed boost here and see if we can get to the front of this WZ. There you go. No more WZ. With that, we still got the E3 onto my side, which is definitely a pain, but nothing that we can't deal with. Let's pull forwards this way so that the IS-8 cannot hit me, and let's get a nice slap into the enemy FE2 and 5B. That's what I'm talking about. All right, well, at this point in the game, we've done a pretty solid job. Looks like the E3 is not going to be shooting at me, and we've dealt over 3,600 damage at this point, so let's just see if we can get a nice slap into that IS-8. Broke his turret as well, so that's another pretty solid chunk there. Now, you can see that heshing the side of the IS-8 is not the easiest task, but if you aim a little bit high and go where the spaced armor does not exist, you're able to pen the shell. That was a fantastic battle to showcase really the strengths and weaknesses of the FE2 and 5B. Weaknesses, yeah, our armor didn't fare all too well. As soon as we turned the turret, as soon as we were stuck in a situation where opponents could easily rip us apart, they did, and they took advantage of that. But we were also able to showcase where we did 4,600 damage, blocked 1,750, and pulled out an ace, absolutely demolishing the enemy team. So it's a good take. It's an absolutely fantastic take. And if you understand how to drive this vehicle correctly, it can be one of the best tier 10s in the game. Now, you do need to rely on a good team for this take. This is a vehicle that if you don't have a good team, will do absolutely terrible. But that's what makes the FE2 and 5B such a strong vehicle. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.